Is the downfall of Iran imminent? That's a question on the table today by Rabbi Pinchas Taylor and Sky News. I am Tall, the traveling clad, your favorite white colonizer. Read the Hat and Weep. Get the merch in the description below, travelingclad.com, and let's look at this clip.
Joining me now is Rabbi Pinchas Taylor. Rabbi, on the first anniversary of the horrific October 7 terrorist attacks on Israel, I'm interested in how you see the Jewish community today. The response in the West from many quarters must surely be salt in the wounds to see so much anti-Semitism from the left in particular on university campuses, in major cities, marches week in, week out from segments of the arts community. How does the Jewish community cope with that after such a devastating blow on October 7?
Well, sure, Rita, and thank you again for having me back. I think the theme of this year has been resilience and coming together. One of the noticed tremendously in the Jewish community since October 7th last year is that despite the fact that our oppressors came to destroy us and came to ruin us, and then the theme of anti-Semitism spread across Europe, across the West at large, in particular on college campuses, I've seen resilience beyond my wildest dreams of the Jewish community coming together in ways that I've never seen in my lifetime. People on the left and the right, the religious, the not religious, all trying to get connected with their heritage once more. And so, although it's still gut-wrenching to watch, and to see the continued aftermath, especially on college campuses. We do find a silver lining that it has brought the Jewish community tremendously together.
Now, the Jewish community we know is very diverse politically and in how they see the world. But I do wonder about how united it is in Israel in wanting to defeat Hamas and Hezbollah, because we have seen these mass protests, and I'm interested to know whether you believe those are really aimed at Benjamin Netanyahu, they're not happy with his leadership, or are Israelis split on the war effort as well?
Well, my understanding, I live in the United States, and my understanding is, like any issue, there's a lot of layers to everything. And what I mean by that is that I understand that there's a large amount of people that understandably want the first priority to be on bringing the hostages home, and that has always been a central part of this mission as a whole. And then there are quite a number of people. I think we're pretty united on the fact that we want that this should never happen again. We don't want another October 7th. I think you see Israel finally sort of weeding out all of the would-be oppressors and would-be antagonizers and saying enough is enough. We're not gonna live in fear. We're not gonna have this continue to happen. We are united on the front of eliminating the cause that caused this all in the first place.
But the cause, the funders of these terror groups, whether it's Hamas or Hezbollah, we know is the Iranian regime. And while it remains in power, is Israel always going to be under this threat?
I certainly hope not. And I was watching a speech from Bibi Netanyahu last week. You probably saw it as well. Probably many of the viewers saw it, where Bibi speaks directly to the Iranian people. And says very frankly, like Ronald Reagan used to do, and speak to the Russians directly, the civilians, the people, said that our issue is not with you. The Iranian people are not happy under the current regime. But Bibi said a line in there that was very interesting, somewhat comforting. I think a lot of us feel like we're in the middle of a movie, watching and seeing what's gonna happen next. But he said, the words that he said was that the end of the Iranian regime is coming a lot sooner than many might think. And I don't know exactly what to make from that, but that idea of having a free Iran, where the Iranian people who have been oppressed for several decades at this point should be able to live in freedom again, I'm very happy and optimistic about that potential opportunity being in the near future.
Yep, this is, I mean, great coverage here from Rabbi Pinchas Taylor. He's also an incredible content creator, so if you don't follow him, you definitely should. He's a great guy. And I think this is the truth of the situation, is that we're looking at a potential end of the Islamic regime of Iran. Now, whether or not or how that comes about in the near future is to be seen yet. We don't know if it's going to happen through negotiations with Trump or by military action. It's kind of looking like military action is not going to be the route anymore. Depending on when this video comes out, who knows? But we are looking at a reality that's pushing more towards negotiation that will eventually capitulate the regime to not being able to fund itself, fund its nuclear weapons, its terror proxies. But who knows? Who knows? The one thing we do know is that there's a willpower to bring on the end of this regime, and that most of the Iranians do not want this regime in power. And may God help them get that ASAP. And if you want to support this channel, buy your White Colonizer merch in the description, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, Clats. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.